thinking about this, this goes along with thankfulness. Goes along with being grateful for what you have versus what you don't have. You know, um, I'm not sorry, just your cup of tea, but anyway, or not for that matter. I was just thinking, gratitude is a beautiful thing. Thankfulness is a beautiful thing when you are thankful that you've got something, or that you've got a business, or that you've got a girl or a woman or family, kids, all those things, a job. It's easy to forget about what you have and want what you don't have. But at the same time, it's kind of like just being that hot. It's like being in that place of just thankful, grateful. Gratitude is what will bring you to that next level of a promotion. Gratitude is what brings you to that next level of like, let's get there. Let's do this. Let's become grateful for what we have at the present time versus what we don't have. And see, a lot of times people will sit there and say, I wish I had a better job. I wish I had this or that. And that's fine and good. I'm not saying that you're wrong for not doing that, or that you're wrong for starting a business or whatever. If that's your goal in life. Just look at what you have. Just look at what you are able to do. And what God Himself has put in your path is, when it's all said and done, it's not necessarily about. See, a lot of times people think that it's all about them. It's all about what He gave you. It's all about what God put in your hands to do, to use with. It's like, think of yourself as being on an island, and you're on an episode of Survivor, right? And you're on an island, and there's about all this water all around you, and you're on a small island, and you got to figure out you got to use the tools that you have in your hands. And if you don't have any tools in your hands, guess what? You're going to have to make the tools. And that's such as this life. You have to use the tools that have been given to you. And if you don't have any tools, guess what? You're making the tools. You're making something. It's like creating out of thin air. But that's how. But you think about it for a second. That is how the world was created in a way. It's like, wow. He breathed, and it was created. I'm like, a lot of times I think it's easy to forget those things. It's easy to forget how everything came into being. But I'm not in this position of getting into this whole bit on creation. That's fine. But I think it's important to always look at what you've got versus don't got. Because God, He's looking at is this. Did you do what I asked you to do? Number one. Number two, did you use what I've given you? And see, a lot of times it's easy to go like saying, man, I don't have a purpose. All I'm doing, all I feel like I'm doing is I'm working this job over here. Until God sets you aside and says, look, I've called you to do that. I told you to do that. I want you to humble yourself for a minute. And I'm going to grow you. I'm going to mature you. And see, to some people, man, they wish that they could be in a position where they're leadership, management, all this other stuff, and that's fine and good. That's fine and good. That's great. But is it really what you want, or what He wants for you? See, a lot of times it's so easy to go through life like, and then you figure out, you know what? All He wanted for you was to go out there and do it. Go out there and make a difference. And a lot of times, when are we going to get past this? Be my job. Yeah, we I look at it this way. God in Himself desires and longs for you to be fruitful, to be um, to be somebody that makes a difference, that's somebody that can make a difference in what you're doing. See, a lot of times it's easy to get to a point where you're like, I gotta go do this again, I gotta go do that again, and to forget about everything that's going on. But not, see, the one thing I would say is this, you know, he himself alone doesn't forget those things. Doesn't say, well, the small things that you and I might forget that we did, the times that we were there for family, the times that we were there for kids, nephew, niece, grandma, grandpa, best friends. And those are the things that will live on. And those are the things that mean the most to him. When you took time out of your busy schedule to go spend an afternoon or a morning with somebody that just lost their dad. You know, and I will always be indebted, thinking about my own life, about the people that came alongside me after I lost my dad, about almost 10 years ago now, come September. And it's those people that to me to this day are still friends. We're still friends, you know. And those are, and I'm thankful more than anything about the people that came alongside me in that moment, in that place, in that season of life, to walk with me and be like, you know, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I support you. Let's hang out. Let's do life. Let's go out for coffee or whatever, you know. And those are the things that, you know, to things are not easy, but look at that kind of stuff and your family and whatnot. But those are the things that will, you know, I can't stop at reiterate the word that was spoken several years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago now, up north. A friend of mine's place of worship. Just be there. When you're there, you're present. And a lot of times, people, all they need is somebody to be there. You know, to not just say, oh, I'm busy all the time. So we can all say we're busy. We can all say, I'm busy with, too busy to watch the grandkids, or, you know, or whatever it is. I don't know. But just be there. Just be present in that moment. You know, and it goes along with saying, too, you know, like, back when I worked in school, right? Garrett Petrie, you know, he always had this word, or he always had this thing was like, be in the moment, you know. But you know, good times, sort of.